Good morning, my friends. My name is Gershy Schwarcz, and I'm your host on Edge News. It's Chuf Bais Cheshvan, and it's Thursday, Parshas Chai Sorah. Now, for those of you who thought it was Tuesday yesterday, I'm sorry. It was Wednesday. Anyway, today is the yahrzeit of the Maharid Mibels, the third Belzer Rebbe. Rebbe Suchadav Lekech ben Rebbe Shir Lekech Zeichet Tzaddik V'Kulash Liv Ruchu. May his neshama have an aliyah, and obviously be a Melitz Yosef for all of us. Down here, I'll say something nice at the end of our news segment, because we came here to say the news. He passed away in Tuf Mem Ches. Today. Good morning. While Putin is playing with fallen robots and fallen soldiers, Trump is busy putting out fires across the world, and other fires keep on igniting. Powered by the news on Edge is powered by Yiddish24.com. Well, I give it in Yiddish for those of you who know. And also the English one is provided to you by The Click. The historic facts at the end is provided to you by The Click. We'll come to it soon. Have you signed up to the course to become a realtor, a special real estate person who makes a ton of money, investments? NYRE course. That's NewYorkRealEstateCourse.com in Yiddish, which will take place in Monsey and in Borough Park by Aaron Gottlieb. Less than 3 days left to sign up, my friends, so sign up now and say on Edge to get a good discount. 718-298-2559. Now, let's jump right to it, shall we? The Northern Lights were visible across much of the nation last night in the United States of America, and may appear again tonight for those of you who missed it. This happens when charged particles from the sun hit our atmosphere. If skies are clear, look north after dark, and you will thank me later. The shutdown is finally over. This is making headlines today. President Donald J. Trump signed the funding bill and ended the longest government shutdown in U.S. history late last night. He said, the Democrats' shutdown has inflicted massive harm. They caused 20,000 flights to be cancelled or delayed. They deprived more than 1 million government workers from their paychecks and cut off food stamps benefits for millions and millions of Americans in need. He added that if the Senate filibuster were ended, which he threatened to do, this would never have happened. The House passed the funding package yesterday. The bill reopens the government and funds agencies through late January. Federal workers get back pay basically. SNAP food benefits restart at full amounts. No big add-ons. Fights over healthcare and other items move to a separate vote later. In other words, the air traffic controllers who return to work will continue getting paid and back paid, obviously. And for those of you who are listening and are working air traffic control, will get a $10,000 stipend from Mr. Trump, President Trump. Let's talk about this. You know how businesses are juggling 15 different apps, emails, chats, CRM tools, project boards, sale dashboards, just to keep the team and customers aligned. Enter proto-byte.com, and you will see they build custom online software tied into your website that brings everything into one seamless system. Team chat, customer communication, data tracking, and operations, all in one platform. Want to ditch the software chaos and get streamlined? Call 347-354-1237 or visit proto-byte.com today and get your systems working together instead of working against you. Protobyte. Ukraine's government is in crisis over $100 million corruption case. The justice minister is suspended. The energy minister has resigned, and other top officials are stepping down. Investigators say the scheme ran through the state nuclear company, I think it's called Energoatom, using kickbacks, meaning bribe money hidden in contracts. Several people are detained and others were charged. The ministers deny any wrongdoing, but their resignations are with Parliament. This could slow down Ukraine's push to join the European Union, which requires strong anti-corruption rules. Well, there's another thing stopping them: the war with Russia. Speaking of scandals, a former top aide to Governor Gavin Newsom, Dana Williamson, helped take about $225,000 from a campaign account linked to Javier Becerra, his name is. He was the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services under the Biden administration. Surprising? No, it's not surprising. A dormant campaign account means leftover campaign money that is not being used. They say the cash moved through fake contracts and a no-show job, which means someone got paid to work and they did not do it. The insiders have already pleaded guilty. Sean McCluskey, who's Becerra's former chief of staff, and also lobbyist Greg Campbell. Williamson faces many counts, including fraud and making false statements. She says she is not guilty. Agents also say some personal spending was written off as a business expense, pushing the total alleged fraud toward $1 million. Steist. Italy is flying Gazan students and researchers to Italy under a new university corridor plan. And here I say, Italy, brace for impact. The goal, Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani says, I think it's pronounced Tajani when there's a J, right, in Italian. For those of you who want to correct me, please let me know. You can all, by the way, I never mentioned this, but you can call me on 845-671-1775, and you can always give us feedback. I would love to hear your feedback. I'm not just coming here saying the news without your feedback. I do it for you guys, so please let me know if you have any feedback, you want to share what I shouldn't do or should do. I want to hear. I'm here to listen, okay? Here to better the program, make it better for you. So if you want me to not mention certain things, make it shorter, make it longer, add this, add that. Don't do this, you did that, you made a mistake here. Tell me. I want to hear more. Thank you. Okay, and also for sponsorship, obviously. You can also call me there, the same number. Or visit onedgenews.com. Basically, the goal is that Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani says, is to let them study in Italian universities and build the future of Palestine. A university corridor means a safe, organized way to move students out of Gaza and place them in a degree program with scholarships. Recent groups arrived via Jordan, with dozens already welcomed by Italian schools taking part in the program. Shawarma Delight. If you're ever hungry and you're in Monsey, stop by the marketplace, which is 26 Spring Valley Marketplace. Shawarma Delight. They have great Mediterranean food. Shawarma Delight. 845-272-0011. You can call them and bestel your order and come in there and sit yourself down, make a bracha and a noch bracha, and then thank me later. You can mention On Edge to get a free drink on the house. And also visit sdny.store if you want to have it delivered free in Monsey in the Gegend when you arrive. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who visited Israel, told Ami magazine, "Do not run." He told Jews, do not run. And I said this as well. So thank you, Mayor Eric Adams, for agreeing with me. Why would you run away and give the man power? You're giving him power when you run away. It's a weakness to run away. That's what I think, believe. Anyway, you can scream at me later. Anyway, he said, don't give in to hate and fear. Leaving has been tried before, and anti-Semitism always follows. It's time to stay and fight. He says the city will protect Jewish life and that standing firm is the right answer. Betuchen, a minute betuchen. You hear it from kids. Here's from Nago, weißt du. The penny is ending, Rabbi Isai. The cent, the penny, the American penny. The US Mint struck the final 1 cent coin yesterday in Philadelphia. The Mint has been losing money to make each penny, so minting will stop. You know that a penny cost 3.69 pennies to make 1 penny. Again, it costs 3.69 pennies to make 1 penny. So start saving the ones you have, because in years from now it'll probably be valuable. It's already valuable now, as you see. It's worth 1 penny is worth 3.69 pennies. So yes. Anyway, I'm joking, obviously. Who cares? The penny is not the first coin to end. Maybe in 80 years from now, somebody sees this episode will say, Gershy, you're wrong. It actually is worth $1 million. America has retired. Well, $1 million is losing value, obviously, but let's go into it. America has retired coins before: the half cent, the big large cent, the 2 cent piece, and 3 cent coins, silver and later nickel, the half dime and the short-lived 20 cent piece. Are they worth money today? That will tell. Anyway, but the half dollar and the dollar coins still exist, but they almost never circulate. I have one here, actually. Interesting. In crypto news, let's talk about digital currency. The physical currency is ending, and the digital currency is taking over the world, right? Coinbase will leave Delaware and reincorporate in Texas. Many companies are doing this lately because of the tariffs, and also because Texas is a red state and has less of these restrictions. The company says Texas offers clearer rules and lower costs. Coinbase is the largest publicly traded crypto exchange in the U.S. cryptocurrency exchange, and Coinbase is departing Delaware and reincorporating itself in Texas, like I said. Tesla and SpaceX have already made this move, and Meta is also considering it as well. Apple is also there. Anyway, the point is that most companies, I was in Texas myself and I visited there, people told me that it's one of the biggest and best economies in the United States of America because all the companies are literally coming there. And also, Texas is a big place and a lot of empty space there, so you can build yourself factories for dirt cheap. The death sentence for Binyamin Hassin, for those of you who remember, has been in Iraqi prison since 2015, has been cancelled. We have already reported here on Edge now that Hassin was accused for killing his taxi driver in self-defense not long ago. A Kurdish court sentenced him with hanging in 2020. Right in COVID. Now an Iraqi Kurdish judge threw out the death verdict after a peace settlement between the victim's family and the defendant. It's heartwarming to hear the story and to tell you the story, because this is due to a global Pidyon Shviyim drive that raised the funds needed for this reconciliation. So I'm so happy, Baruch Hashem, that he is staying alive. one Jewish life. Let's talk about Jewish lives. Jewish lives depend on having good taxi service. In England, you say a cab service. So, Arrive Express is one of the best cab services here in Muncie or in Monroe. 845-622-1111 or 845-254-1111. Arrive Express is number one in the world of taxis. Rabbi Sai, there was a tragedy in Peru. At least 37 people were killed when a passenger bus crashed into a pickup truck and fell about 650 feet into a deep valley. I didn't pronounce it well. Near the Ocaña in the Arequipa of Peru. The Arequipa region of Peru. If I can pronounce it well, Arequipa. Okay, dozens were injured. The crash happened on a sharp curve of the Panamericana Sur Highway. Officials are still investigating the cause, but local reports say the pickup driver tested positive for alcohol. Oi! Talking about alcohol and drugs, Trump is fighting a war against drugs, as we all know. You know, Pete Hegseth said yesterday, after the multiple strikes that America has carried out against ships and boats carrying these drug cartels, he said, Pete Hegseth, the Department of War Secretary, said, terrorists, stop coming by boat. Stop using boats or ships, because we will strike you. FBI Director Kash Patel says China has now listed all 13 chemicals used to make fentanyl. Now, a precursor is a base chemical cartels use to produce the drug. Patel says, under the leadership of President Donald J. Trump, America and the world are now safer. American lives will be saved. This will cut off supplies going to Mexican cartels and cut overdose deaths in America. Be'ezer Hashem, hopefully they're successful with this, because this is actually a real tragedy. In Gaza, Hamas says they will return the body of an Israeli hostage they claim was found today near Han Yunis. The handover is set for 8 o'clock this evening Israeli time. 4 hostages are still held in the Gaza dungeons. They're dead bodies of hostages. YS Capital Group. Now, if you all know, you saw a building, you want to buy the building, you want to make some money on this building, you want to eventually have enough money to marry off your children and Eiklach. So, here's the thing. If you want to borrow money, a few $1,000,000, go to YS Capital Group and ask them, and they will say yes, because their slogan is, the answer is yes. 718-831-2168. And you know what the best part about this is? There is no closing costs. Have you heard that? No doc loans, no closing costs. 718-831-2168. YS Capital Group. Direct lending and fast approvals. Historic facts of today provided to you by The Click. Today is Chuf Beis Cheshvan Tufshin Pai Vuf, and let's run through very short things that happened today. So today, in Neon Zion, High Neon Zion, this is 1296 Lemesburam, Jewish doctors were barred from treating Christians in Sicily. Did I pronounce it? Sicily. A royal decree in Sicily prohibited Jewish doctors from treating Christians, marking a key restriction in Jewish professional rights in the medieval Europe times. 1917 CE, which is Tuf Reish Ayin Ches Lemespuraini. British forces take Gaza from the Ottoman Empire. During World War I, British and Allied troops captured Gaza, which we hear all about today, ending in 400 years of Gulas, of Ottoman rule in the region. And also, today, sadly, our grandparents were deported from Budapest. Budapest deportation started today, which was in year 1944, and Tufshin Hai, amid the Nazi occupation, our grandparents from Budapest were rounded up and sent towards the concentration camps, and the ghettos and mass killing began as well. It was very, very sad. A very sad day for Klal Yisrael on that day, and may the Neshamas have an aliyah and be a made for all of us down here in this world, and bring Mashiach Tzedkani very, very soon. And just a fun fact, we heard about the Northern Lights today, so if you go out, let us know if you saw the Northern Lights, and if you did, please send us pictures. You can send it to The Click, and The Click will forward it to us, or you can always submit it to us on edgenews@gmail.com. I would love to see and hear from you guys. I get a lot of messages, but sometimes I ask you, take pictures of it, and maybe we'll feature it, and whoever wins, maybe we'll feature your picture on tomorrow's segment. Say that yesterday also we saw the Northern Lights. Yes, so it's exciting, right? Tufkif Terzain, a massive earthquake struck Lisbon, Portugal, destroying large parts of the city today on Chov Beis Cheshvan. And like I said today, it's the Yotzeit of the Belzeruv, the Dritten Belzeruv, Yisrael Rekeach ben Harav Hagun Atzadik Rebbe Yeshia Rekeach, the Marit van Belz, Today is Yurtzeit Chuf Bais Cheshvan Tufresh Pai Ches. He passed away. When he says like this, when a person lives only for himself, life feels heavy. When he lives for others, life becomes lighter. With a little love, a Jew can accomplish an entire world. An oilam im loyai. Brought to you by The Click. Thank you all for listening, thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful day. My name is Gershy Schwarcz, and I'm your host on Edge, and we'll see you tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem. On Edge.